Yo, what up guys, I'm Sammy and welcome back to the Soul Brothers channel, and this is my review of the Nike Air Max 2021. So it is a new year, and of course Nike has to engineer and make a new way of implementing Air Max into a shoe, and it looks really cool. Of course, I love the way Air Max looks, especially in the original Air Max. And of course we have the Vapor Max and then the Air Max 270. Of course we had the 720 as well. This shoe is really freaking expensive. It's 160 bucks. There are two colorways. This colorway is available and a black colorway as well. So if you guys do want to cop, I'll leave a link in the description box. But let's get it started off with the Tracciones. And we got some, like, it kind of looks like a minus screw, I guess. You know what I mean? All over the outsole. It says Air here in the heel. And in this color, we have a two-tone outsole. Here in the toe box, we have a navy, or like, is this a navy or a black? I can't, I think it's like a really dark navy. And then here in the heel, we have like a really light gray color. And also this shoe is made up of 20% recycled material, which is very cool. We need to save the earth, of course. So it looks like the rubber outsole is actually made of recycled rubber. So that's a very nice thing to see. As far as the grip goes, the grip is okay. I mean, it's a casual shoe, so you don't really need good grip. But of course, I don't want to be sliding around all over the damn place, you know, like, remember Roshi's? You know, there's no outsole, there's no rubber outsole on there, it was just midsole. I would be sliding around all over the place in those shoes. So I don't really like it when casual shoes have bad traction, I guess. But of course, it's not as important as like a basketball shoe, right? Now moving on to the heel to toe transition. Of course, that's not really important either. But just in my opinion, I like to have a very smooth ride when I'm walking around, you know what I mean? Because I don't want to feel like super clunky, you know. I don't want to feel like I'm wearing a boot, you know, like a Timberland or like even the Jordan 12s. They're super comfortable. You can feel the full length zoom underneath your foot for the Jordan 12, but it feels like a boot, you know what I mean? So that's why I don't really like wearing it casually. But anyways, in this shoe, it's very smooth. You know, you have a pretty curved shape, but also an insane amount of heel compression. And also we have a very curved shape in the forefoot and a lot of forefoot flex. So when you're just walking around, it feels very smooth, very comfortable and all that. And now moving on to the cushioning setup, which is probably what you guys are most curious about. So here in the forefoot, it doesn't specify what foam that they're using. It feels like a really soft foam though. It feels actually very similar to the Air Max 270. And I believe this was like a Cushlon, I think. But either way, it's a really soft foam here in the forefoot. It feels great. And now moving on to the actual Air Max unit. It feels pretty similar to the Air Max 270, you know, but I would say you're a little bit higher up off the ground. Like, it's just insane. Look at that. Look at how thick this is. Okay, so when you put this shoe on, if you're a short person and you want to be 3 inches taller, you got a date and you don't want to, I don't know, like be shorter than them, then get this shoe, guys. You're going to be instantly 3 inches taller minimum, you know what I mean? And if you put wedges in here like Korean people do, then you'll be an extra 5 to 6 inches taller. You know what I mean? So yeah, this offset is extremely high, right? So in the forefoot, you're still pretty high up off the ground, but you're way lower than here in the heel. This heel is just insanely thick. And of course we have this, like, it's kind of like an exposed Air Max unit, which looks great. It's a plastic, of course, and the PSI feels pretty high. And then around that, we see this like plastic cage. It says Air Max. It's a really soft plastic, you know, it's pretty much collapsible, but on top of the Air Max, it's a pretty hard plastic, right? So you feel an insane amount of compression here in the heel. It's actually ridiculous, you know? But the thing is, there's nothing underneath your foot, like right underneath your foot, you know? So for step and comfort, we have this insole. This insole is okay, you know, it's just like a regular Ortholite insole. It's not very foamy, so it doesn't really improve the step and comfort that much. And then of course, underneath the insole, we have a very stiff strobo board. So, I mean, of course, if you've tried like the PG4, even the PG5, or like a full-length Zoom strobo unit in the KD13 or the KD14, you feel that Zoom unit right underneath your foot, which is insane, right? Here in this shoe, so pretty much your foot is right here, and then you have a very stiff, like, strobo board right underneath your foot. So step and comfort is very stiff, and then you have the crazy compression here in the heel, and of course, you have the soft foam here in the forefoot as well. So yeah, it's like any other Air Max, you know what I mean? Like the Vapor Max, you know, it's crazy compression. The Air Max 270, crazy compression as well, but it's not really super comfortable because your foot isn't really digging into anything soft, just in my opinion, you know. But of course, if you like the feeling of VaporMax or the Air Max unit here in the 270, you're gonna love the Air Max 2021. It's like almost too insane. It's really thick. I mean, look at this. You guys see this? Do you guys see how much thicker this is? You know what I mean? Maybe the actual Air unit is maybe the same size, but it adds an extra inch because of like this plastic here, you know what I mean? So do I like the cushioning setup? No, I'm not a huge fan of Air Max. I mean, it is comfortable at times. I mean, I don't mind it all too much. I don't hate it, but I would much rather have like, you know, an Epic React or an Ultra Boost, or just, you know, just like a soft underfoot cushion. You know, that's just what I would prefer. But like I said, if you like Air Max, then you'll like this setup. All right, moving on to the materials, we have like it seems kind of like a screen mesh, but it's extremely thin. And then around the toe box, we have some like nubs, of course, for extra added durability. And here on the lateral side, we have a half circle fuse with a swoosh here in the midfoot. And here on the medial side, we have a synthetic material which says Nike Air Max. For the laces, we got some rope laces, and as far as the eyelets go, we have like this really like cheap synthetic material. I mean, it's 160 bucks, you know what I mean? Like, you're gonna give it, these are really crappy materials for a $160 shoe, you know? Also, it's kind of like, it has that DIY look. You can see all the stitching and stuff like that. As far as the tongue goes, the tongue is a half booty construction tongue. There's not a whole lot of padding to it. It's made up of a very open mesh material, and then here in the ankle area, we have a very little amount of padding as well. So as far as the materials go, it feels great on foot. You know, it's a thin material. There's not a whole lot of foam to it, so it doesn't feel like bulky or hot or anything. The ventilation is actually pretty good. There's not a whole lot of airflow, but the material is pretty damn thin, so your foot's gonna be pretty cool in this shoe. So for quality, 160 bucks, not very nice. But on foot, it's thin, conforms to your foot, and it's comfortable. All right, moving on to the fit, I went true to size and it fits my foot really well. It's a very snug fit here in the toe box. So if you like to have a roomier fit in your casual shoes, I would suggest going up half a size. Like I mentioned, I went true to size and my toes go pretty much right to the edge of the shoe, and width-wise, I would say it's slightly narrow. So for me, the fit was great. And like I mentioned, if you have a wide foot or you want a roomier fit in your shoes, I would suggest going up half a size or maybe even a full size because it is pretty snug here in the toe box. This shoe is also pretty easy to put on. You know, it's not a crazy heel tab, but it does come up a little bit here in the heel to make the shoe a little bit easier to put on. All right, moving on to support and lockdown. Of course, it's a casual shoe, so you don't really need any type of support. In my personal opinion, there are shoes that have like really crappy support. You know, like this shoe, the NMD, with like a really stretchy material. It feels really nice. It feels like a sock, but like when you're doing like any type of movement, your foot just like wants to come out of the shoe, you know what I mean? And I don't really like that all too much. I mean, it is very comfortable if you're just like kind of taking it easy and walking around, but if you kind of jog or something, it gets kind of annoying, right? And this shoe, of course, there's a good amount of support. You're not gonna have any issues with your foot coming out of the shoe or anything, but one thing to watch out for, I guess, is lateral stability. Obviously, it's not a huge deal when you're just casually walking around. But I have had some friends just, I don't know, they're just like very clumsy and they have rolled their ankles just walking around. I don't know how. But of course, if you are higher up off the ground, and also this shoe is not super wide, then you are more prone to, I guess, rolling your ankles. So just watch out for that. Obviously, most people, you're not really gonna care about that. But, you know, just want to mention that. As far as the weight of this shoe goes, I'm guessing it's gonna be kind of heavy. You know, probably around like 12 ounces, right? Okay, so it's 12.98 ounces. So basically 13 ounces, which is very heavy for a casual shoe. Yeah, 12.91 ounces. So to put it in perspective, the VaporMax is really light. Yeah, 7.9 ounces. And like the Epic React is like 6 point something ounces. Let's check the Air Max 270s. I think, yeah, so 9.49 ounces. So, I mean, this shoe is pretty damn heavy. It's using a lot of plastic. I think that's what's contributing a lot to the weight. And it just feels like super bottom heavy. But the material feels very thin and very minimal. You know, just keep in mind you're gonna be very high up off the ground and you're gonna be like 3 inches taller. You know what I mean? As far as the aesthetics go, not a huge fan of the aesthetics. You know, the upper doesn't like look very nice to me, but I do like the look of the Air Max unit, or this air bubble here. I don't like the Volt color in this colorway. I think that looks kind of eh. But the overall silhouette of the shoe, I'm not a huge fan of. Maybe also it's because I don't really like this colorway too. So tell us what you guys think of the aesthetics down in the comment section below. So wrapping things up, yeah, I don't like it. You know, and I usually don't like Air Max shoes because they're not very comfortable. Of course, that's just my opinion. Like I said, if you like Air Max and you thought, you know, the Air Max 270 was comfortable and you liked it, or even the Vapor Max, then you're gonna like this shoe. Also, the extra boost in height, I guess, is a plus, but just keep in mind this shoe is very expensive, 160 bucks. So yeah, that about concludes my review of the Air Max 2021. Again, if you guys do want to comp, I'll leave a link in the description box, but that's it. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.